Sim followers, it's MK. So it's going to be a very busy week for me. I'm finalizing my content and all my plans for my upcoming trip to Illinois to do some teaching for Pro Stitcher with the small group of ladies up there. But I wanted to hop on and just give you a little bit of a tip for today as it relates to a quilt that I was working on, a week or so ago. And it had to do with repositioning in the middle of a pass. And somebody had a question on one of my posts about repositioning in the middle of a pass by using pause and reposition. She wasn't aware that we could do that. So, because I'm going to be busy today and I'm probably not going to be putting a lot of content out there before I go, I'm not going to make this an official sim session on YouTube. I'm just going to post it here on Facebook. But what you're looking at on the screen is just a pantograph. It comes free with the Pro Stitcher. It's one that I use in my Pantos class a lot. And what I wanted to show you was, let's just go ahead and run this pattern. And let's say that we are stitching along and we determine at some point that the pantograph is off a little bit. Okay, the placement is just slightly off. And we would like that to be moved over, let's say in this position, a little bit to the right. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to watch my machine stitching and I'm going to try to pick a spot in the pattern where I can hit pause so that I can nudge it. Okay, I'm going to hit pause. Wow, I did pretty good that time. Now, sometimes it is hard to pause it exactly right where you want it, but just do your best and try to pick a spot where it's not going to be really noticeable. Okay, first thing, let's make sure that our pull-up is turned off. Okay, what we want to do is we want to go under modify. We're going to do reposition. And we said we wanted to nudge it to the right. Now, when I do this function in real life, I never choose a digit probably much over 0.04. Okay, that's 4/100ths of an inch. Well, we don't want to make this jog over to the right very noticeable. We just want to get it over a little bit. So we're going to leave it on 0.04 and I'm going to nudge that over. Did you see how the pattern just scooched over a little bit? Scooch, that's a really technical term. And then we're just going to hit resume and it'll keep on going. And if you pick a spot that is not real noticeable, it's going to be hidden in your stitching. Now, I do this sometimes when I'm working on a fabric that's, it's very printed, it's very busy. You're not really going to see that either on the front or the back. I'm generally probably not going to do this technique if I'm printing with a dark thread on a white fabric, and any little adjustment that I make is probably going to be noticeable even when I try to hide it. So although this procedure it's a good one, you have to be very careful where you use it. Okay, so let's review one more time. I'm going to hit pause right there at that spot. Once again, I did a pretty good job hitting the mark there. Make sure my pull-up is off. I'm going to go modify, reposition, and I'm going to nudge it over just a little bit. The pattern scooched over a little bit. That time I went to the left. You can go whichever way you need it to go. You could even go, up with the diagonal arrows. But normally I'm just going one way or the other. Once I get it where I want it, I'm just going to resume and keep on stitching. Okay, that's my little tip for this week. Thanks so much for following along. All the sale items that you guys ordered last week, those will be delivered to me tomorrow, along with the etched glide feet. My engraver finished up with those. So all of those items will be shipped out before I leave town this weekend. Just a side note, any of you who placed orders who live outside of the United States, I am not really equipped to handle all of that international shipping right now. So I've put some indicators up on the website on my store that any of those items, those really are intended for United States shipping only. There are a handful of you, however, who placed some orders. I really appreciate that. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to try to work with my shipping source and see if he can just kind of take that over for me this week since I'm pretty busy getting ready to travel. And I'm going to have him go ahead and contact each one of you individually with a quote on shipping internationally and see if you want to proceed with that. Of course, if it gets out of the range of, expense that you don't want to cover, it's no problem. We can just do a refund on your items. And again, I really appreciate all of the interest in my sale that I had last week that correlated with the Handy Quilter sale. All right, everybody. If I'm not online this week, just remember I'm busy getting ready to travel. And if you are a part of my Illinois group, I will see you next week. All right, everybody. From my studio to yours, happy quilting. It's MK. Bye bye.